With 30,000 of 7.2 focus, I will invest 12 million and sell for 17 million right here in Thetford. I will make a profit of 5 million. It's giving a margin of 41%. Look, for this, I will produce a total of 340 at the 7.2 quantity per day here in Thetford. Purchase 1,000. So it's gonna take me about 4 days to sell everything. If I'm lucky, I'll sell everything on the same day. I need to buy the resources at this price and sell the bar 7.2 at this price, 49,972. So this 7.2 is very good. I'm investing relatively little. I will only spend 30,000 of focus. I will profit 5 million without leaving the city, without transporting, without doing anything every 3 days. So in 30 days, how much was I going to profit in the whole month, folks? How many rotations can you do in 30 days? 10 rotations. In 30 days using focus, refining, calculating nicely, you can profit up to 49 million. You can pay for a premium and still have some left. Refining resources. 7.2, 6.2, 6.1, 7.3, 6.3. What will it depend on? On the market prices on the day you calculate. Got the idea? Almost 50 million there. Almost 50 million per month, just with refining, using only your focus. If you calculate without transporting, nothing at all, 100% safe. And this is the video we're going to record for you now. Hey folks, let's make another video here for the channel about refining. And it's a video I haven't done yet this year, which is refining with focus. We will analyze various situations here of when it's worth refining with focus. So we are going to simulate how our profit would be. Refining in the bonus city and selling in the bonus city and also refining in the bonus city and transporting to sell in Caerleon. From all the tiers, from tier 4, tier 5, tier 6, tier 7, tier 8. Got the idea? Today, look, we already have the game open here. But today there is a bonus, yes, for all refining, a 10% bonus. I already have my PI client open here, as I just gathered the prices in the bonus city. The bonus city for ore refining is Thetford, so we already checked the prices at the market stall there. The rate is around 300 at the ore stalls, and we've already collected the necessary price for calculation, which is the ore price. We come here to mineral resource. We collected from all tiers and also the price of metal bars of all tiers here in the bonus city. We have already collected this data into our spreadsheet and also collected the price of the bars in Caerleon, where the prices are usually higher, but you have to transport through the red. After refining, you would need to transport and sell in the Caerleon market. So there's the risk of dying and losing everything. We will do several simulations now that we have collected the data. I will open the spreadsheet for you. It's here. And let's analyze then how this crafting would be with focus. I marked here, see, with focus, using focus, and I put the return rate today. The return rate today, in the bonus city, with the daily bonus, we have 50% return. So, at the stall, when there is the refining city bonus, plus the daily bonus, I went to the stall and checked there what the real return percentage we have with the focus. So, with focus, I saw that the total return percentage at the stall is 50 and 5.9. So I already filled in this value, 55.9 here in the return rate, and I also entered the booth rate, which is 300, ready. And I put that I have the focus available equal to 30,000. But in order to calculate, when I mark that I will use the focus, a new column opens here in the spreadsheet, which is this column here. AM, look, total focus. So if I have 30,000 of focus, this total focus, I must always stay below 30,000. Understood? You can see that it shows several focus values spent for each type of tier, for this amount of 150. However, this total focus changes according to your spec. So, here on the spreadsheet, there's a tab where we can fill in our spec, which is this tab here on the side. In this tab, there are all the items in the game, and I've already filled my spec in refining. Look, there's the refining column, AL. I will zoom in. Let's find the refining part here. Okay, here. So for ore, we have tier 4 ore, tier 5 ore, tier 6, tier 7, tier 8. You will fill in your current spec here to calculate how much focus you will use. You can see in the game that I am well spec'd in refining ingots or metal ingots. I am 100 out of 100 here in tier 4, I am 100/100 also in tier 5, 100/100 in tier 6. In tier 7, I am 86/100, and in tier 8, I am 1/100. I have never refined in tier 8. So in tier 7 refining, I have done quite a bit. And you can see that the more spec you have in me, all tiers also help with other types of refining, allowing you to use less focus. So what did I do on the spreadsheet? I filled in my spec 100/100 in tier 4, 100/100 in tier 5, 100/100 in tier 6, 87, 86/100, just put 86 in tier 7 and 1 in tier 8. When I fill this in here, automatically, this focus column, in total, it will change its values. You can see, look, that in tier 4, for this quantity of 150, I am spending only 1,450 focus to make this amount of 150 of tier 4. If I had no spec, I'm going to reset the spec. Look, reset, 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 reset. Let's go back there. I would spend 18,000 focus. You see? 18,000 focus if I were 0/0 in everything. So yes, it costs much more. It's not worth refining if we don't have spec. So what's the secret? The secret is you do a lot of refining without focus first, just to spec. Like here, and all this was refining without focus that I spec'd. Tier 4, tier 5, tier 6. Then, if you have a good spec, like I have here, then you can use focus. You can see it almost reduced 18 times the amount of focus needed to make. For example, 40. So, with all this spec that I have, yes, the profit will be much greater. Let's see then how much profit will come from this quantity of 150. For example, if I will buy and sell here in Thetford at the prices that are now, which I just collected in the market. And let's also see that we are limited here in the last column. We are limited to 30,000 focus. So I will add the necessary quantities for all the tiers to reach a maximum of 30,000 focus. Another thing, to make it easier to analyze, let's use the tier filter here. Look, let's take tier 4 first. I will filter only tier 4. So you select only tier 4. I will mark that I will use focus. I will set my limit of 30,000. 30,000 is already here. So let's adjust the quantities until we reach 30,000 focus. You can see that the total focus is very low. So I will put 500 here. assim, ação. 25,000 of focus, 4.3. 600, 30,000 of focus. Look, the 4.3, for example, if I wanted to buy the ores and refine them with focus 4.3 to sell, for this sale price here in Thetford itself, without transporting, without anything, I would have a profit of 1 million. Just using 30,000 focus to make the 4.3. 1 million is very little. For me, using 30,000 focus, you need to have a profit of at least 3 million, which is 1 million for every 10,000 focus. So I wouldn't do 4.3 to sell here at all. Now let's check the 4.2. Let's increase here to 1,200, 1,250. Oops, it went a lot. You can see it went past. It went to 36,000 focus. I want to reach a maximum of 30,000 focus. Let's put 1,000. Let's put 1,050. There, 30,000 of focus. Now the 4.2 is spending 30,000 of focus here, and I'm going to make a pittance because it's giving only almost 14% return. See? 18% return, 14%. It's a very low return, man, for you to buy and sell. Here in Thetford itself, if I were to sell there in Caerleon, I also checked Caerleon's prices. I'll change it to sell in Caerleon. You can see that the selling price is increased. See there. The bar 4.1 there in Caerleon is 447, and the bar 4.1 here in Thetford is 275. So it's much more expensive, the T4 resource there in Caerleon. Selling in Caerleon, it has changed a lot, see there. If I wanted to do the transport with focus, using 30,000 focus, more or less, I would have 1,600,000 selling in Caerleon. 73% profit. Let's go back to that amount I had done again with the 4.3. The 4.3, look, let's set it to 600, 550. Okay, here, the 4.3 now, 28,000 of focus that I am going to use. If I were to sell in Caerleon for this value here of 11,000 something, I have to see how much it is there. If it is really 11,000 something, I would now with 30,000 of focus, I would invest 7 million and would have a return of 8 million, more than 100% profit. And the daily demand in Caerleon per day, they buy their 597 of this 4.3 ore. But I would produce all of it, 1,200. You see, I'm producing much more than what's sold per day. So probably even transporting it there and selling it, this whole amount of 1,204.3, it would take me a week, about 15 days to sell everything. But if I sell at this price that's today, about 12,000 each, I would double my silver. I'll invest 12 million. With only 30,000 focus, I would get a return of almost 8 million. So this is very... Well, what is the problem? Having to transport in the red zone until reaching Caerleon. So it's very good, but there is a risk of you dying and losing 7 million here. Let's see tier 5. Let's see here, first look, the 5.1. 29,000 focus. The 5.1, I would have a maximum profit of 1,300,000. Let's see analyzing to sell in Thetford. Oh, it would have a profit of less than 1 million for 30,000 focus. Selling in Caerleon, I would have a profit of 1,300,000. Very little. Let's see here. The 5.2. I have to change the quantity. It's spending 51,000 focus. Let's put a smaller quantity, 600. Done. 30,000 focus on the 5.2. Selling in Caerleon, at 5.2, I would already have a profit of 3 million. With 30,000 of focus, I would have a profit of 3 million selling in Caerleon. Let's change here to sell in TET. I changed to sell in TET. My price decreased a lot, and my profit too. So with 30,000 focus on the 5.2, I would now have a profit of, at most, 2 million here. At least I'm not transporting, you see? I'm buying everything, manufacturing in TET and selling in TET. So the 5.2 would even be worth it, look. But I still prefer to calculate something that gives more profit. With 30,000 focus, I'm making only 2 million profit. I could do it, but it's not that great. And look, I was going to make 1,300 bars here. And daily, almost 12,000 are bought. So I would sell quickly. This 5.2, you could consider doing it if you wanted. Let's see the 53. The 53, I have to reduce the amount. See? Because I'm still spending 54,000 of focus. Let's reduce the amount here to 330. So 29,000 focus on the 5.3. The margin is very small. So you can see that from tier 5, actually, it's only worth analyzing the 5.2, which has the larger margin. 12% would only be 1 million and little. So the 5.3 is also not worth it. Let's see about selling in Caerleon. Selling in Caerleon, the 5.3 would give almost 4 million in profit, but I would have to invest 12 million, you see, spend a lot of money to make a pittance of profit and have the chance of dying and losing those 12 million. So, no way. Let's now analyze tier 6 here in TET. Tier 6 in TET. The tier 6 buying and selling in TET, the margins are here. The 6.2, look, 30,000 of focus, more or less, the 6.2. So I would have, at most, also 2 million. I would have to invest 10 million here to profit only 2 million with 30,000 of focus. Very little. If I were to sell in Caerleon, my profit would go to 5 million. Improved. Look, I would spend 30,000 focus and would profit around 5 million. I would invest 11 and sell for 16 and would profit around 5. I just need to check if this price in Caerleon of 21,000 and something, it's a price close to reality. Here in TET, the price was 17,000. In Caerleon, the price is 21,000. See? That's the 6.2. As I'm already in Caerleon, it's easy to see. Just select here 6.2. Indeed, the average price is a little over 20,000. So 21,000 is not too far from reality. They have sold for 21,000 a few times already. So it will be possible to sell for this price. No problem. So this here is something to consider. But the risk is big. You would have to invest 11 million. You would have to transport to Caerleon and could die and lose the 11 million in the transportation. But you would profit around 5 million. Selling in Thetford, you would profit only 2 million. Let's see the 61. Let's change the amount here, 600 to get close to 30,000. Look, 30,000 focus on 61. And I would profit at most by selling and buying in Thet. I would profit at most 2 million as well. It's not worth it. Let's change the amount again to see here the 63. Oh, 23,000. No. Let's put 200 here. 31,000 of focus. That's close. Let's put here 190. 190. Okay, 29,000 of focus. The 6.3. Buying and selling in TET. Oh, this one is interesting, folks. We can actually do it. You can see that when you start calculating already from tier 6.2, 6.3, when you start calculating an 8 tier or equivalent, which is what? 6.2, 6.3, 7.1, 7.2, 5.3, everything that is 8 tier or equivalent, 8.1, 7.3, those with focus usually give a much greater return when you are specialized, which is the case here. Look how interesting. I just found something top. The 6.3, if I sell it in Thetford for 60,000, buy the resources directly there, which is the price here, but I will spend a lot, right? I will invest. I will spend 20 million. I will produce a total of 430 bars of tier 6.3. Per day, they buy 896 bars. In the market then, for well less than half of what's bought per day. It'll take me about 4 days to sell everything, a week, and I will sell for 26 million. So I will have, with 30,000 focus, without transporting, without anything, I will have almost 6 million in profit. The margin is small, only 27%. On top of my initial investment, I will spend a lot, but I will profit almost 6 million, you see? That is, with no risk at all. So, with no risk, with 30,000 focus, every 3 days I gather 30,000. If I get a price, I will profit roughly 6 million. With refining a better resource, without transporting, without anything. Refining and selling in the bonus city, the 6.3. So this here, look, this is what we're looking for. When we have spec, and when we have a tool to calculate like this spreadsheet, we can do several simulations until we find something good. The 6.3, if I had 20 million to invest, I would have the courage to do it. Because at some point, it's going to sell. It's here, it's math, it's simple. But let's finally analyze tier 7, which is the one I want to do. We finally arrived. I want to make a video for you refining tier 7. Tier 7, let's take here the column, always the total focus column, which defines here our analysis. Let's put an amount here of 220. Let's take 7.1 first, 270. Here it is, 31,000 focus more or less. It gives a return of only 29%. If I did the 7.1, I would invest 7 million and profit 2 million with 30,000 focus. I don't want that. So let's analyze the 7.2. Let's decrease the amount here to 150. There, see, 7.2, 30,000 focus that I will spend. With 30,000 focus of 7.2, I will invest 12 million and sell for 17 million. Here in Caerleon, here in Thetford itself, I will have a profit of 5 million. It's giving a margin of 41%. See, in other words, I'm not investing 20 million anymore. I'm investing only 12. So this margin is much better, as I will spend much less of my money and will profit 5 million. For that, I will produce in total 340 in the quantity of 7.2 per day here in Thetford by 1,000. So it will take me about 4 days to sell everything. If I'm lucky, I might sell everything on the same day. I need to buy the resources at this price and sell the 7.2 bar at this price, 49,972. So this 7.2 is really good. I'm investing relatively little. I'll spend only 30,000 on focus. I will profit 5 million without leaving the city, without transporting, without doing anything. And this is the video we are going to record for you now. But first, let's simulate if I wanted to transport to sell in Caerleon. Look, you can see the price here increased to 59,000. There in Thetford, it was 49,000, which I would sell each bar. Here in Caerleon, I can sell each bar. Let's put here Caerleon. For 59,000, 10,000 more. So I bet my profit is much higher. Now my profit, with 30,000 of focus, I am earning 8 million. But you can see that here in Caerleon, this 7.2 bar only sells 23 per day. So it sells very little. There in Thetford, sells 900,000 bars per day, 7.2. Here in Caerleon, only sells 23 bars per day. So if I make 340, I will never get my money back. Let's take advantage that we are in Caerleon and let's see this here. Look, the 7.2 bar is here. You can see that its price is indeed 59,000. And the average price for a month is 56,000. So it's very close, but it sells very little there. It sold 8 in one day, 2 on another, 27 on another. The bar 7.2 sells very little here. So it wouldn't be worth it at all to transport it here. Let's go back to Thetford, because that's where I'm going to sell. And then we will check the prices now of the 7.2. I will use 30,000 focus. I only achieve all this profit, folks, of 5 million, because I am very specialized, you see. I am already 86/100 on the spec. So what's the secret? It's for you to do a lot of refining without focus to spec, just like I did. Transporting here to Caerleon, selling here, just like I showed at the beginning of the video. And when you have a good spec, you will be able to profit a lot by calculating everything properly on the spreadsheet. You can make a lot of profit without needing to transport, without anything, in the bonus city, in the bonus location. You get a great profit there with tier 8 resource or equivalent. Let's see the 7.2 here. The price is really 49,000, quite close to the monthly average, which is 46,000. And per day it sells there 300, 900, 700. It sells much more. So it's really worth it to craft a resource when it's tier 8 or equivalent to craft and sell it in the same place. No need to transport. Look at how wonderful and fantastic this is. The 8, the 7.3, I won't even analyze because it sells very little. And the tier 8, I won't analyze either, folks, because I have almost no spec. So, since I have little specialization, it will yield little profit. 20 units here of the 8.2, for example, with 30,000 of focus, I will profit just over 1 million. So it's not worth it. From everything I've analyzed, what is most worthwhile here is the 7.2. So I'll just filter for the 7.2. There it is. I can use the tier filter here. I select the tier, select the enchantment. I filtered the 7.2. That's it, folks. That's what we're going to do now. For me to get all this profit and use my 30,000 focus, I need to set a quantity of 150, if I'm not mistaken, right? Where's the total focus column? Here it is, 148. Yes, 148. I will spend a total focus close to 30,000. At the end of the spreadsheet, we show how much we should buy on our shopping list. And there it is, look. I need to buy then from the 7.2, 750 ores, 7.2, and I need to buy 148 bars from the tier below, which is here, look. It's bar 6.2. That's its price. So the shopping list already defines what you need to buy. I need to buy 740 ores, 7.2. Let's see if there's that amount in the market. Now this is it. This is the main part. Ore 7.2. Okay, there the price and the quantities. The price is close to 11 million. 11,000. I mean, each one. Let's see what the price is on the table. The price that's on the table is here. Look, around 11,000. So the price is accurate, look, around 11,000 for the mineral 7.2. Let's take the chance to see the price of bar 6.2 to see if it's close as well. It's 17,400 something. Let's look at the bar here. It's 17,400 and something. There's plenty of bar to buy. So the bar is at the right price and I have plenty to buy. I only need to buy a little over 100 bars, right? In the end it shows 148 bars is all I need to buy. And I need to buy 700 ores. That's the big problem. 740 ores. Let's see if we have that in the game. Or I need to buy 740 and there are only 140 here. Let's scroll down. Look, 11,000. There isn't, folks. There isn't the full amount I want. See? There's only a small amount of ore at the price I want. There should be at least about 700 ores here to work out right. So since we don't have the full amount we want, let's readjust the quantities there to make this calculation. I will buy them all at once. See? I bought everything. 140? Well, I just bought it. So I wouldn't miss the chance, you know? Then someone else might come and buy it before me. So we will have to recalculate here to get this quantity of 140 on the shopping list. Shall we put the quantity 30? There, 150. I put the quantity of 30. Now it's 150 minerals only on the shopping list. Only that I will manufacture very little. Now I will only manufacture 68 and will have a profit of just 1 million. But I will spend only 6,000 in focus. So I'm only going to spend 6,000 focus and I'll have a profit of 1 million. If I were to spend 30,000 focus, I would have a profit here of 5 million. I'll be able to show you if the spreadsheet is working or not. Let's do this craft with just this amount of 30 from 7.2, so we can practically test the amount of focus that will be used with the current spec I have, which is this one. Did you get the idea? So let's go. I already bought it. I bought 140, right? Let's buy the rest. I need to buy 150 ores then. I bought 140. I have to buy 10 more. Done, 152. And what do I need to buy now? The spreadsheet shows 30 bars of 6.2. There's a little picture here, of which is the bar. Look, it's the bar 62. 30 bars for 17,440. I'll put 30 here in the quantity. It will be around 500k, and I'll buy. I'll also buy 32, right? Buy 2 more. I bought it. It's here for that amount there, 17,000 something. You can see in the spreadsheet that it's exactly this amount shown here in the spreadsheet. I mean, it's 7,000 and something. Perfect. And now I bought these resources I needed. Just need to go there and refine. So let's refine in practice so we can have this profit here of 1 million using only 6,000 of focus. Done, that's it. Easier than that? Impossible. Obviously, I wanted to do much more, right? But there isn't. So let's just do what we have. Let's go to the little stall now and refine this thing here with focus. See if there's anything easier than that. Tura, the little stand I set up, fee 300. Look, the guys have already raised the price of the stand. And there's one down here, look, 299. Let's go to it. Let's go refine with focus there, spending only 6,000 of focus. Let's profit 1 million smooth sailing. Easy as pie. I wanted to profit 5 million, right? But lacking resources. What can I do, young one? I can create purchase orders, folks, to buy this ore today. You know, over the course of the day. If I keep buying this ore 7.2 throughout the day, or I can buy it in another city. I can, for example, come here to the nearby city, in Fort Sterling, and buy this ore 7.2 here. I just pass through the yellow, there's no risk of dying, see? I could also buy here in Martlock. A bit of tier 7.2 ore, it should be the same price as here. It shouldn't be deviating from this price, see? It should be around 10,000 and something each. So if I go there and buy it, I can finish the rest of my refining easily. We've arrived at the stall. The tax is 300. You can see there's a lot of food, right? In the stall. Let's filter only what I can produce. There it is. Wonderful, huh? You can see, folks, that without focus, the return is 40.4%. With focus, 55.9 return. And on our spreadsheet, It's 55.9 mal papo, because today there is a daily bonus too. When there is no daily bonus, I think it goes to 53.9. See, if there were no daily bonus, my profit would be a little lower. It would be around 800,000 in profit. Since I have a daily bonus, the daily earnings today are around 1 million there. I earned 200,000 more because of the bonus. If I didn't have the daily bonus, let's put the percentage here again. And I wanted to set my total focus at 30,000 there. You can see that you don't need to wait for a daily bonus. Let's see how much 150 would be, right? Let's put 150. 28,000 focus. See? The 7-2. 155? 29,000 focus. Look. Let's filter here just 72. There it is. So you wouldn't need to wait for a daily bonus. If I did this craft with 30,000 focus any day, I would have almost 5 million profit. So refining 72. Per day here, the daily demand is 1,000. I would do a re-refine every 3 days. I would refine 333. I could create multiple buy orders to keep buying this ore cheaper. And I would profit around 4.5 million every 3 days using 30,000 focus because I have a very good spec. Got the idea? But let's get back to the game. And let's do our refining then. Here it is. I will make 30 initial recipes. I will use only 2,600 of focus. Look how wonderful, I'm using very little focus. Altogether, I will use 6,000 of focus by... Alright, so let's see here. So we can make a nice calculator. How much focus do I have, kid? Initially, folks, you can see that I have 29,898. I'll even write this down here, so we don't lose this idea. 29,898 total focus. Here. Let's do all our refining and see how much I will have at the end. Let's see how much focus I will have after the craft. And in the end, we will have the total that was spent. Understand? There it is. I've already noted it here in the spreadsheet. Let's go in the game. So in the first rotation, where I'll have a lot of material return, I will spend only 2,600 focus. And then I will produce more and more and more and more. Until in the end, we spend that amount of 6,000 focus. Let's start producing. These taxes are already included. I'm already producing my refining with focus. I had 2,200,000 in the backpack. And now it's 2,700,000. It went up a little. Look, we're going to spend another 1,500 of focus. Produce another 1,500 of focus here in the second rotation. Let's produce 9 more, spending almost another 1,000 here of focus. I'm expecting another 400 of focus, another 300 of focus. Let's produce 2 more, another 100 focus. There. I produced everything possible. You can see it increased in my backpack. Look, I had 2,300,000. Now, I have 3,300,000. So it increased by 1 million in my backpack. Because the price that's showing here is really the price in the game. The game's average is already this. So I gained 1 million and spent only 6,000 of focus. My total focus now is 23,958. Let's note it down here. This is my total focus after crafting. Let's see how much I spent then. It's nothing more than one minus the other. Here it is, folks. Total focus. Expense. So in practice, I spent almost 6,000 focus. I actually spent 5,940 here. And on the spreadsheet, it showed I was going to spend how much? It showed I was going to spend 6,029. So it's quite close. It was a little different. Around 80 or 70 focus difference. This is rounding from the formula. Let's also check the total production. It said I was going to produce 68 bars. Let's see how much was produced in total with the returns. 67 there. Produced 67 bars and a little bit of resources were left in the backpack. So produced 1 less. It's very close to what it actually said should have been produced. So it's also the rounding of the formula. So the spreadsheet is accurate in this refining part. With focus, it's perfect here. And now, let's sell at this price so we can have our 1 million profit. So we only spent 6,000 focus and we are going to have 1 million profit. Let's go sell in the market without transporting, without anything. 100% safe. Let's go sell our little production so we can have our little profit of good. Ready? Let's sell our production 100% safe then. Let's sell our 67 bars for this price of 49,970. I put them up for sale all at once. I've already created my sales order, which is here. 67 bars to sell. Per day, it sells almost 1,000 bars. So this will sell quickly at the price close to what was on the spreadsheet, which is 49,000 and something. So, if I wanted to spend 30,000 of focus, let's put it here again. 150, 148. If I wanted to spend 30,000 of focus, I would have a profit of around 4,900,000 every 3 days. So in 30 days, how much would I profit in the entire month, folks? How many rotations can be done in 30 days? 10 rotations. So in 30 days, just multiply by 10. In 30 days, I will profit 49 million. So folks, in 30 days, using focus, refining, calculating nicely, you can profit up to 49 million. You can pay prices and still have some left over.